The truth about Warzone right now is that it is harder than it has ever been. So in today's video, and by the way, guys, we are going to start right at the beginning here. You are going to watch me queue into a game of duos. We're playing some solo duos here. We're going to be breaking down this high kill solo duos game that I had, really helping you understand how to have success in Warzone. Now, what is success? It's totally up to you. Could be high kills, could be a lot of wins and trying to win every game, could be that balanced mode. So we're going to be really focusing on a little bit of everything. Early game strategy, how to push, when to play patient, that end game dynamic, and we're going to do that all while breaking down this high kill solo duos game. My whole goal, guys, is just to help you become a better player. Once again, you see me just queuing in right here, and let's go ahead and start to talk about early game strategy. When we talk early game strategy, guys, I try to keep it as simple as possible. Generally, try to land in the same spot every single game. It's not always possible. Try to figure out where you're comfortable, where you have success, right? That's a big thing, is like where you actually able to consistently win. If you're dropping somewhere and you're never getting loadout, you probably want to switch it up, right? That's the most important thing. So for me personally, I'm kind of looking just for a recon contract. I'm kind of looking in this general area. I kind of like fighting in this side of the map here. I'm looking for a recon, maybe even a scavenger contract. I do like doing a scav. Most wanteds are obviously a little bit more aggressive, little high risk, high reward, but they are contracts that we can get done super quickly. Obviously, downside is that it is going to be, you know, we are going to be on radar. Also, where are the hot areas, right? So like, good, we got a recon down here, recon down here, but I know that this is actually a very hot drop spot, even though it's not actually a POI. So for me personally, what we end up doing is we kind of single out this little recon contract right here, kind of one that's a little bit more, you know, not out in the open, but it's not in a huge cluster. If somebody is going to challenge me for it, guys, I'm probably going to let them have it because I'm playing solo duos here. Okay, so if I see somebody else flying in or hear somebody else flying in, I'm just going to let them have it. It's not worth me trying to take on two guys with a pistol when I only have 2 lives, right? I don't have any buybacks here in this case. Now, very simple, guys. Start your game with Loadout. No questions asked. Start your game with Loadout. Now, you can get Loadout through a contract. You can get Loadout through looting. Contract obviously just makes it easier, but we're just going to focus on that Loadout dynamic. Whether you are looking to get a bunch of kills, whether you're looking to get a bunch of wins, and maybe we just call it an aggressive playstyle if you're looking to get kills, a passive playstyle if you're looking to get wins, and then, of course, we have a balanced playstyle. Regardless of your playstyle, you want to be able to get your loadout and then start to figure out what your next move is from there. Once we get loadout is where we kind of really pivot to our play style. So we're just going to go ahead and work here, guys. Like I said, if you are looking to get better at Warzone, give me 30 days, right? Subscribe down below. Watch my videos. I promise, I guarantee you, you'll become a better player. And if not, after 30 days, you can always unsubscribe. I guarantee you that's not going to happen. I promise you it's not going to happen here. Now, why are we looting so much here? Why are we looting so much, even though playing solo duos, I have enough for loadout and I have a recon contract to my left side? Why am I looting so much here? Because it's not just about loadout, right? It's about loadout and then the next thing as well, right? So if you're playing for a win, it might be loadout and then self-revive. If you're playing for kills, it might be loadout and then UAV. Now, thankfully, I already have this UAV right here, but let's talk about how I use that UAV, okay? We'll talk about that in a second. By the way, this end game, guys, is kind of crazy in terms of how we handle this end game and the rotations. There's like buildings in zone that I get caught out in the hills. It's a crazy, crazy end game, so we'll talk about the rotation. Let's push this forward right here for a second. Push forward. Now, I have the map knowledge, and this is something you guys want to work on, to know what buy station I'm going to here, right? So I already know which buy station that I'm going to be working towards, and let's go ahead and work that direction. Look at our cash flow. We've got $11,000. We've got this contract bonus already going for us, so that next bonus or that next contract is going to give us even more cash. We can start to stack those, and we just really put ourselves in a good spot. And then, of course, we have a UAV in pocket that we just popped. Gameplay strategy. Why did I pop it there? There's 2 rules of thumb in this moment, okay? Number 1 is, hey, I'm going to pop it just to make sure that there's no campers sitting on the buy station. There's no campers in a building. Like, I'm going to play this safe. The other side is, hey, I'm going to risk it, and then I'm going to get loadout, and then I'm going to pop UAV to push. I think one of the biggest things is heartbeat sensor. If you have a heartbeat sensor and you can kind of guarantee here early that there's nobody around you, you can save that UAV. But for me personally, I couldn't. And on top of that, we're going to go ahead and loot up this building, right? That extra looting that we did, I'm not saying you have to loot like crazy, but that extra looting that we did, you know, allows us to get this next UAV, which allows us to start to push. We're also going to grab bounty contract. My style of play is aggressive balanced, okay? So I'm definitely going to be pushing for kills here, trying to put myself in gunfights. Let's go ahead and grab loadout here. Just to quickly address, guys, we have overkill, right? And then I have my gunfighter class. I ultimately decided to go with my gunfighter AMAX because it's suppressed. Keeps me off radar, still has really good range, really good bullet velocity, obviously an incredible TTK. Biggest thing that I note here is, hey, I have a SOG that I can use. Now, I am going to be thinking about that second loadout at some point to get that AK, which is my secondary technically, which is an incredible secondary. But for now, we're going to be rocking the SOG. We're going to be rocking the AMAX. Pop UAV to go ahead and kill this bounty. Now, my thought process in this moment is what? Besides get the kill, right? The kill's obvious. What is my thought process here? My thought process here is replace the cash, okay? So if I can kill this bounty right here, then what I can do is I can replace that cash. By the way, for those of you that play that a little bit more passive, this might be you pop a UAV and you go do your recon contract, which gives you a little bit of a safety net, and you can replace that cash. So we can use UAVs to kind of help us complete these contracts. This guy's out in the open. Enemy number 2 is obviously right here, trying to tag just a little bit. And I want you to listen. Listen to your right side. So all of a sudden, I don't know where, but like I hear shooting over this way somewhere. So all of a sudden, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, whoever is over here is not on this guy's team, because this guy's teammate rotated up the hill here. So I'm a little bit kind of caught off guard. We're just going to play our positioning here. I'm going to play the rock, try to see what I can find. I end up seeing this guy straight back this way here. I'm going to break. Can't quite get that down here because he does do a good job of smoking to get out. And now what's your thought process in this moment? I'm going to keep kind of testing your gameplay strategy here, guys. Replace the cash, okay? So once again, we're going to throw smoke because it's out in the open. For me personally, guys, I am running Scavenger. I would highly, highly, highly recommend that somebody on your team run Scavenger because it does actually help give you a ton of cash. And once again, we replace that cash flow. We work our way right back up the hill here. And then from there, we can go ahead and pop another UAV. We still have plenty of time in this first circle. First circle is like 8 minutes, guys. It's insane how long first circle is. So we still have 4 minutes here to be able to get ourselves in a spot where we can get like 3 or 4 kills. UAV, don't accidentally buy a PA. That's bad. That throws everything off. There's nothing that'll kill momentum more than buying the wrong thing at the buy station. Why did I immediately push over here? Why did I, you know, I didn't know where anybody was, right? I didn't have any concrete information. There was no shooting. Why do I push over to my right side here? Because that's where those guys were before, right? They were down the hill here. This is kind of the only thing that I have to work off of. We'll pop UAV and go ahead and push. Let's tune into a little live commentary because I actually did live commentate this as well. Let's listen to what I'm saying. Quarters, if we need to. Let's hear what I'm saying. I think that guy to my right side was ghosted, so I've got to really be careful about him. I also got to be careful about this guy to my left side here. Wait, this guy's pushing out. So obviously we're tracking this guy as we push down the hill, right? We can clearly see this guy pushing out, but we also know that, hey, we've got to worry about that ghosted player because I have no idea where he went. Now, I don't know what exactly happened there. That really threw me off guard because I thought that guy was out in the open. But at certain moments, guys, you're just going to have to execute. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, aim and movement is the most important thing when it comes to winning gunfights. Then aim is the most important thing. Hands down. Aim is the most important thing when it comes to winning gunfights. What's our thought process right here? Okay? You know the guy's in the building here, right? You know it's a 1v1 fight, which we're going to take. What's your thought process in this moment? Lethal tactical, right? First shot, guys, is the most important thing with how fast the TTK is. And we can use lethals and lethals, to give us that first shot advantage and kind of do some damage. Now, lo and behold, every play style, right? We got the prox mine, the spring mine on the stairwell. We're obviously down to no plates here. So we got to play this really, really careful. Now, this is probably a mistake on my end. I have 2 lives. That's it. There's no buybacks. There's nothing. So challenging this with 225 health and as fast as the TTK as it is very aggressive. But watch. See how quick I decide. Watch how quick I decide to get out of here. It's a big dynamic of how fast the TTK is, guys, is if you don't get off to a start, like, you better get out of there. Do not go down in that situation. You've got to find a way to break that line of sight. And you got to be positioning yourself with cover so that you can break that line of sight. Now, we're not done with that guy. We're not done with that guy. We just got to find plates here. He's not moving, right? Like, we know he's not moving. He's just sitting in there. Gas mask. We'll grab it early. Doesn't hurt. I ended up picking up a decoy right there. I have no idea how. I still have my impact nades. We got plates, and we're going to go in and work right back over. Now, unfortunate for this guy, right? He flew right back in on his stuff. And then, got to execute. Got to hit shots once again in a 1v1 fight. We hear this guy jump out. Execute with the SOG, just using a little bit of basic movement. Nothing too fancy right there. Just a little bit of strafing back and forth. A little bit of strafing left. Left. A little bit of a jump to the left there. Allows us to be able to get that kill. Even with how fast the TTK is, guys, it is extremely fast. I get it, but it's the same for everybody. I think that's important. It is the same for everybody. Replace the cash. Let's go ahead and grab his scavenger pack here. The scavenger pack, guys, gives you plates, ammo, and cash. So we're at $9,900 here. I was just checking to see if he had a loadout secondary there. If he has a loadout secondary that's better than the SOG, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take it. Looting up there just a little bit, trying to see if I can find a little bit extra cash. Any cash helps. Do you have any tips for movement? I feel slow. Use your melee. You're going to see me use the melee a lot because it allows you to just... It gives you unlimited attack sprint. That's probably the biggest thing. Loadout. Yep, there you go. So we go loadout. Tough decision there because we now no longer have enough for UAV, right? We don't have enough for UAV in this moment. So we're going to grab the AK, though, kind of give ourselves that advantage with the double loadout guns. You know, AK is an incredible secondary with a super, super fast TTK. I hear a bunch of shooting over in Quarry. I just have no idea where it is. There's the melee again. Notice I grabbed the recon. I'm going to use anything for information, right? I'm going to use anything that I can to give myself an advantage. Anything. You know, obviously UAVs are great. Bounties are great. You know, recon drones are great. What else do we have? I think that might be it in terms of information. Weapon pings. Did I say weapon pings? Any heartbeat sensors, right? Anything that I can use to understand where people are because it's the hardest part of Verdansk. It's the hardest part. Consistently finding enemies and finding enemies who might be camping in the corner. What's my thought right here? Loadout drop. So in this case, guys, I see the loadout drop right here. I know that there's another team around. My loadout drop's all the way over here, right? I know that there's somebody that's floating around here that wants that loadout. I literally look right at it. So really pay attention to those loadout drops, guys, because that's just something you can use to understand that people might be around you. I heard some footsteps. Yep. I'm hearing like footsteps and like a ladder to my right side. Okay? So let's map this out specifically. I am going to tell you that these enemies are in this building. What is your play here? You don't know how many it is. You don't know exactly where they are. What is your play here? High ground, high ground, high ground. Okay? And we are going to go back to this a lot today. We're going to go back to this a lot. high ground, high ground, high ground. Because I don't know where these guys are, right? I hear him to the left side. Yep, I hear some grass. There he is. Gotta execute. Obviously, you know, took a lot of damage in that gunfight. Way more than I would have liked. But now we're in a 1v1. Let's reposition a little bit. Find a slightly different angle. There he is down below me. And by the way, me strafing right here, guys, he can literally see, like, my chin and above. And I'm going like this. Boop, 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 across the screen. Like, this is so difficult to track right there. And that's why we always try to find that head glitch. Now, from here, we once again have that momentum, right? It's basically like if I have enough for a UAV, I'm going to pop and try to see what I can find. And we're just going to keep that momentum. It's funny. You're not the only person that has struggled in games, okay? I've struggled at times as well. The games where I can get information up consistently, the game is very, very easy. The games where I don't get information and I'm wandering a little bit, the game gets extremely difficult. I'm getting one-shot sniped from my right side by a guy that I don't even have time to react to. I am getting... Pause. What's your thought process right here? I don't want to fight this. Like, I just don't want to fight this. Now, it sucks because I don't have any other information, but these guys have high ground. They're on the hill. They're not moving. They're going to stay up there. Like, I'm just leaving these guys. Okay? I just have no interest in taking that fight. I'm valuing my life. Okay? I'm valuing my life here. Until they jump down. The moment, and this is why it's important, guys, to track where these enemies are moving to. You can see that my eyes here are looking at the minimap because I'm tracking where... Watch minimap right here. Watch. Top of the hill. Not top of the hill. They're in the building. Okay, perfect. Now we can go in and fight this. Right? How do you play this? By now you know the answer, but the question is, can you make that decision when you are playing, right? Watch how we approach this fight. Not low ground. Okay, cheeky little angle right here. I see that guy. I break him on the roof, and what do we do? Take high ground, right? High ground, high ground, high ground. It gives us a ton of versatility. Obviously puts us in a really good position. There's number one. There's number two. Nothing those guys can do. I'm obviously, the AMAX is crazy. There's thirst number one. There's thirst number two. Just like that, guys, we're up to 8 kills. You know, when it comes to dropping those high kill games, it's just a matter. You got to make quick work of teams at times, but it's also a long game. It's a 25-minute game, right? So we don't always have to, like, it's not like Rebirth where if you stop and you're out of the action for 1 second, your pacing gets crushed. Let's go ahead and work on the next piece of info, right? Now, notice there's 2 dots right there. Originally, it was only 1. Now we see 2 dots. We see them split. That's exactly what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for solo and 1v1 fights, trying to split enemies as well as possible. I see this guy to my left side here. I don't see him. I just see him on radar. Why do I PA there? Just to hold him off. I just don't want him to peek that window on me. Where is this guy? Come on, buddy. AMAX is just... It's just so crazy. It's just so good. I mean, mantling right there is just the worst possible situation. Also, guys, if you find this utility box, this thing is crazy. Because it's going to give you plates, ammo, everything that you need. Everything that you need. I just never see this guy, to be honest with you. I literally never see this guy. Actually, now that I think about it, that might have been 2 in that building. As I said, guys, if you are looking to get better at Warzone, give me 30 days. I promise you, you'll improve. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Let's go ahead and rotate out of here. 9 kills. We're in a really good spot. Second circle still, by the way. So we're still just kind of cruising here. I'm going to let this roll a little bit. Zydo, thank you so much for that sub. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. What do we got here? Guys, cars, they're just not... You can take note of them, but they're just not worth doing too much. You know, I'm just trying to see where this guy's going. I'm thinking in this moment he's going buy station. Right? Oh, you've got to be going buy station here. Nope, he's going up the hill. We see him go up the hill here. Watch the decision that we make. Value your life. Value your life. Ready? We're chasing. Oh, he gets out. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, we're just gonna leave. We're just gonna leave. Yep, let's just get out of this situation. I didn't like that fight. He was gonna take high ground. So let's go ahead and work our way back here and grab bounty contract. Right? Next step, bounty contract. Okay? That allows us to keep pushing. But if I remember correctly, we end up switching up here to a contract that is extremely underrated, which is the supply run. Now, why is the supply run underrated? Because they aren't in first circle. Okay, so they're actually not in first circle because there's like, it has to do with like loadouts and stuff like that. They're not in first circle. But once second circle starts, the supply runs spawn in. They are great. Free self-revive, discounted item. You know, you get the contract bonus. We get a ton of cash here because we have that contract bonus already. Obviously, you got to be careful around the buy stations, but they are super, super, super easy to do. Wait, what am I saying right now? What am I saying? I'm saying something here in this live commentary. Let me listen. Low here? Yeah, I mean... this is always a little bit risky because obviously we're headed to a buy station. There's only so many buy stations, guys. So anytime you're around one, you've got to be a little bit strategic. You've got to expect other teams to be here. I might do a little drive-by action here and try to drive by it. I can finish it in the car. I don't have to finish it. I don't have to actually get out of the car and complete it, right? I can literally just drive by this thing and just see if anybody's around. I could also use a smoke here. But, like, anybody that's here is going to know that I'm here. I don't think anybody's here. Anybody that's there is going to know that I'm there because of the fact that I'm driving a car. Right? That's why they know that I'm there. Now, when we approach fights, guys, it's all about trying to find the angle. That's the thing. That's the hardest part of when we approach fights is trying to figure out the angle that we can take in order to challenge these guys. Now, I'm just trying to find some cheeky angle that allows me to shoot inside and try to get a little bit of a jump on these enemies. You can see, like, I'm doing anything I can here. Obviously, keep in mind the truck behind. Nope, we're just going to go back up again. This is where, like, teams do camp. What are you doing right here? You get the knock. Got another teammate in there. What's your thought process? Impact me. One. I mean, they got... Look at this. They got shock charges, blast traps. They got this thing fitted out with explosives. Hey, we're going to use that against them. We're going to use that against them. Those are all going to blow up and going to put them in a really bad spot there because I'm going to basically... Not only does my impact nade doing damage, but the blast traps and everything are as well. Grab another UAV. We're just replacing cash here. Try to figure out where we want to go. It doesn't matter which one you go to, guys. It really doesn't. You can pick any of these dots to go to. Just, you know, if you want to push, go ahead and push here and just pick a dot and go. Obviously, this one's the closest here. Thinking about a little bit of positioning. Yep, playing in that house. We know he's just chilling in here. He hasn't moved. Seems like that's a lot of solos and duos. Seems like a lot of solos and duos is people just sitting in buildings not moving. Patience. I thought the satellite dish was his foot. I shot the AK to try to bait him out a little bit. Try to see if he'll overpeek a door or a window. Trying to see if he's going to overpeek a door or window. Where's he going? Probably to the car. Right? And I think I even say that in here. I think I even say that. Nope. Got him. Yeah, he's trying to go for the car there. I mean, I don't blame him for trying to go for the car. Because, like, that's really his only escape route. But I just said it after the fact. But that's where we nade ahead and we try to put ourselves in a good spot. Okay, third circle here. We got 12 kills. Still 20 teams up. We got teams down below the hill here. I ultimately decided to try to push back here to this guy that's kind of rotating out in the open a little bit. And I'm also taking note of that team in the car, right? Or by the car. So we need to take note of the team by the car. We obviously see this guy straight ahead. This guy's rotating. So this should be a pretty easy kill right here until Paparazzi, baby. Just, you got to be ready for it. Like, you never know when it's going to pop out at you, but you'll be able to see here as I turn this corner, and I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and challenge these guys. There's the 2 snipers, right? And once again, valuing my life more than anything else here, it's just not worth it, right? It's just not worth it to take that fight and risk, and especially because I don't have self-revive. Like, that's definitely a solution to the problem, but with the lack of flinch, the insane bullet velocity, the unlimited one-shot potential range, it's just such a hard challenge to, especially with those guys team shotting, because he doesn't even have to hit the headshot. If they both hit my toe, then I go down. So it's just like such a hard position to be right there. And next thing we notice here, guys, is people rotating in, right? People rotating in on the edge of zone here. So, you know, I'm not center zone. That's totally okay. Now I'm in a position where I can hold people out, and we actually see some weapon pings right here. So I'm just going to chill. I'm in no rush here. I mean, absolutely no rush. We're just going to hang here. Just take our time. Be really, really patient. And hold these guys out of circle. You know, it's definitely a little bit slow. You can kind of see this is where I'm the aggressive balance, right? I'm aggressive. I'm pushing for kills. But hey, let's not just full send this situation. It's going to be really hard to regain, although I still do have that loadout up. Yeah, good trigger discipline right there. Don't pull that trigger until you're ready. Don't pull that trigger until you know you can get the down. And by the way, you can even see, like, I kind of wait for that guy to stop moving on the buy station. I kind of wait for him to stop moving on the buy station. And now that it's a 1v1 fight, I can go. Where are you? Where are you at? I wanted to hit this jump spot so bad. You can hit this jump spot here. You can definitely hit that jump spot. But then I kind of noticed, like, hey, like, circle's kind of pushing in here. There was a UAV on buy station right there. Did I not buy one the first time? I guess I didn't. Or just rotate out. I'm just going to make the smart play. I'm just going to rotate out here. I have the information. He's got to push out, and you're going to see this is going to be a very easy kill. Once again, smart decision, value your life. CT Edits, thank you so much for that. Subscribe on YouTube. I appreciate it. Look, there's nothing this guy can do. This is a no-down situation, by the way. The only thing I can't do here is get sniped. That's literally the only thing I can't do. That's it. That's literally the only thing I can't do right there is get sniped. Because anything besides that, and he's dead. I make a mistake here. What is it? Self-revive. I didn't buy one. And I want you to remember that. Okay? Let's just remember that. Got UAV. I like the UAV play. Give us information. Tell us where people are. But I just needed to buy a self-revive right there. Especially because we have plenty of cash. Once again, I'm just going to hold these guys out of circle. Make sure we're playing cover here. Don't have to be over-aggressive. We just wait. And I could literally live commentary. I was saying, like, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. Eventually, I thought that guy was at a spot where I could get that down. Unfortunately, he gets away, which sucks because if we lose the kill, we're also now in a 2v1. Now we're kind of getting shot at by both guys. This is a much tougher fight because of the fact that we didn't execute on that first enemy. Now, of course, his range is a little bit tougher to execute at, but we've got to get that down right there. If you're playing in duos, like, that's 100% a situation where you calm to your teammate, hey, let's 3, 2, 1 shoot at this guy and take this guy out. One guy in the ATV left. Come on. There we go. Now we can get that thirst there. And I'm not worried about wiping teams, guys. I'm taking kills that are given to me here. Gulag's closed. We're playing really strategic. We see one guy straight ahead here on the left LTV building.
Enemy UAV is online.
Left LTV building is where this guy was. Barked. Right? So be careful of that. Yep. We fried that guy, but it doesn't matter. And you can see, I'm going to slow this down here. slow this down a little bit. 15 kills. Just kind of taking our 1v1 fights really well. Just had momentum that entire game when it comes to kills. And now, regardless of your playstyle, this is what matters the most. This is what matters the most. I'm worried about somebody to my left side here, right? I know back behind me I'm pretty much okay. I'm worried about my left side or kind of like straight ahead here because people could absolutely be rotating in this way. So you're going to see me kind of like clear this a little bit. I'm going to clear this straight through. And I can't kind of keep working our way up here. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We get a UAV out of the crate, which is going to give us really good endgame information. First thing I think about is these guys have to rotate out here. These guys have to. I mean, they could probably stay on the little corner of the house, but it's a really tough spot to be in. These should be pretty easy holds, but we also need to make sure that we have cover from this guy to the right side here. So I want to challenge these guys, but I need to keep in mind this angle right here and not over peak that, because that's when I get put in a really, really bad spot. Yep, I got to be careful of that guy, and everybody else is rotating in. Also, the guy straight ahead. Look at this guy slightly. Yeah, the guy that smoked. I really did not want to give away my location with this enemy here, but the kill was too free. I did not want to give away my location, but I had to take the kill in that moment. Put us at 16, 10 enemies left. We're in a great spot here for 20. There's one. It's about at this moment when I realize I don't have self-revive, right? So now that I don't have self-revive, like I can't be aggressive here. I can't challenge this sniper, and I can do that, but like I can't challenge in a spot where I can get one shot sniped and now all of a sudden our game ends. If I did have self, I could be a little bit more aggressive because I have 2 lives, essentially, right? I can die and then, or like I can go down, self-revive, and then I'm up again. But with no second chance, we got to be really, really careful. Bunch of fighting straight ahead of us here. Still worried about the Mike Myers skin down below, though. Still worried about this guy down below because I know he has to rotate up. And biggest thing I'm thinking about is cover. I have cover right here, guys. I have cover on this side of the circle. I'm in a really good spot here to kind of prevent myself from getting shot from here. And then I've just got to worry about here. That's about it. We've cleared out everything else. Everything else is cleared out to our kind of back behind us. Nobody rotated in that way. So we're good. You can see, like, I've got a ton of cover here. Sniper. Unfortunate. Got to be careful. Where's Mike Myers? So now I know that I have to kill the Mike Myers skin. Where are you? One in there. Yep, just there he is. He's trying. So what you're going to end up seeing here is I know where everybody is. That guy's dead right there. 1v2v1. So you got 2 guys in this building and 1 guy in this building. We're in a great position here to clutch. Great position here to clutch. We got the impact nades back. We can still use those smokes if we need them. No self. And my biggest frustration with this is the flinch. Watch him hit this shot. Like, he just shoots me through me shooting him. And there's nothing. This is what I'm talking about. Insta dead. The flinch is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, guys, you've got to be really careful. But the biggest thing we can do is just make sure we have those self-revives endgame. Then we don't have to worry about it nearly as much. By the way, if he downed me and I had self and he PA'd me, he can't full kill me. As long as I start selfing immediately, he cannot full kill me. So those self-revives are just so important if you are looking to clutch the win. But overall, guys, you see a very simple game of Warzone. We land in, we do a contract, we get loadout, we focus on some contracts mid-game, we focus on pushing a little bit mid-game. You can focus on how to set yourself up with recon contracts for endgame, and then we focus on that endgame dynamic. In circle, with cover, remembering where other teams are, remembering information, putting ourselves in a good spot to ultimately pick up the win. didn't fall my way this game, guys. It is what it is. It's the toughest part of Battle Royale. But this game was a ton of fun. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.